Um, Today I wanted to just do this quick little video before hopefully everybody wakes up. So I've been up since, I hate saying times, but I've been up early. And I really enjoy getting up early. And the first thing I start with is my journaling. And as I was sitting here and realizing that I have hit my next milestone, and I'm enjoying the mornings, and I'm journaling, and the full moon is coming up. I just thought that now might be a good time for a video about this. I wanted to share with you guys how a bit about how I have come to the decision to living a sober lifestyle. I'm not going to get super deep into it, but I am really loving it. and and not just about that, about any kind of transformation that you want to make in your life. And that's not the only changes I've been making in my life. I've been making a ton of changes. I feel like the phoenix, just on fire, ashes, and over again. And I just keep, this year has been super transformative for me. Yeah, it's been amazing. I've been shedding everything that absolutely does not serve me and does not align with with what I know my soul purpose is. So I want to help you guys to do the exact same thing. I want you to feel aligned in your purpose. I want you to feel as complete and whole and the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. So and that doesn't mean doing what I'm doing. It means doing your own process. I just wanted to share with you guys a process that worked for me. And that way you can decide for yourself what works for you, and how you can work with the moon to have the moon's energy and magic just to support you through all those changes. So first things first. I had to put notes down here because I like to talk and I will get sidetracked. But first things first, I knew that I wanted a change. I felt things were not right in my life. I was trying to do a lot of things in my life, and I was feeling very, very frustrated. So I had posted the other day, I had posted a meme, and I'll just read it quickly because this meme was like, okay, this is another indication this is the right time for me to do this. So my guides are always telling me and sending me messages and sharing things and letting me know when to move. So I don't move until the universe moves me, and this is it. So this meme, or quote that I had put up yesterday, said that before I could manage my emotions, I had to accept my emotions. Before acceptance, I had to identify my emotions. Before identifying, I had to acknowledge my emotions. And before acknowledgement, I had to be honest with myself. And this took work, and absolutely it did. So that's exactly what I had to do, guys. Like, I had to get real with myself. When you're in when we're living in this 3D manifested plane, it's so easy to get caught up and lost in our emotions and the day-to-day, and we don't even realize what we're feeling half the time. We just know that we're feeling like frustrated, aggravated, we're on time limit schedules, which I still have. But there was a lot of things, I just felt there was a lot of clutter in my life, and I wasn't getting to live the life I wanted to. I knew I wasn't living my true purpose. I knew I wasn't getting to make time for the things that I wanted to, and so that was sort of the realness that was hitting me. I just was irritable and short with my family. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror some days. Just really feeling pretty terrible overall. I wanted to journal. Okay, I wanted to journal and I wanted to meditate, and I do those things, but I couldn't say that I did them regularly. I couldn't say that I did it consistently, and it's still not perfect, and that's okay. I've also, again, I've been shedding the need to feel that things need to be perfect, and that's why I'm making this video, and I still feel like shit's everywhere, and whatever, and I'm trying to make it before the kids wake up, and whatever, but I'm letting go of all that shit. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done, and that's the one thing from my last boss that I think I'll take that I really appreciate the most. She was like, it doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be done. Because she said that, you know, geez, like I was always trying to make sure that everything was lined up, and so anyway, here we are. So so with journaling, that was where it really started for me, and that's why I'm gonna encourage you guys in this to journal. And I can feel the eye rolls right now, like, who's got time to journal? Agreed. Who has time to journal? I was trying to squeeze it in. Again, the perfectionist thing, I had my one little journal, and I had it, you know, in my one little specific spot where I thought I would go to journal. Reality, I can't always get to that one specific spot. It was really frustrating. I was really irritable about chronological order with my journals. I always had been, because I've been journaling since I was a teenager. It's just been a thing. So yeah, I had to let go of that first of all. This was a gift, I think, but another thing I let go of, having to have all the same book. I just get books that I think are pretty and make me happy, and I love getting gifted journals. Someone always picks up something pretty in that, and it's a special thing. So I put them all over my house. They're everywhere, and there's pens in a journal, and I hide them in places so no one can steal my pen or see my journal. But they're all over my house. They're in pretty much every room in my house, and that way I can always access my journal, even if I'm running and chasing Zayden, and then I'm like, okay, I got him sitting for 2 seconds, and now I can open it up and make a quick note. But in the morning was when I knew that I was going to be able to have the only time to myself, because the day right up to bedtime is crazy, and Zayden's bedtime is pretty much my bedtime now. So getting up early to journal was really the only way for me. When I started to journal, everyone talks about journaling, and you're supposed to write some like profound stuff, or these amazing emotions, and have this crazy breakthrough. Like, pfft, no. Another hang up, right? I probably wouldn't want to tell you what I wrote in my journal, but when I was feeling frustrated about not being able to journal, and I just went down, forced myself, I sat down, I was so frustrated, and I was like, great, I'm journaling, I don't have time to journal, this is really fun, and the page literally looked like that, and I was like, I kept doing that, and I started to make a point, because it actually felt good. It felt like a bit of a release. So then I started to look forward to it, and I started to realize, like, every freaking page that I was writing, I was like, I'm really, really fucking angry. I'm a pretty, like, and I'm not an angry person, but I was feeling very frustrated, very blocked, and very stuck from everything that I wanted to do, everything that I wanted to complete in life. And then I was like, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to write down in my journal, I'm going to cut my page in half, or 2 pages, whatever you want to do, but do it so you can do it side by side. What will make you happy? What's your perfect life? Like, what are the things that you want to do in your life? And mine was very simple. I'm not a high maintenance person. I wanted time to myself. I wanted time to meditate on a regular basis, if not 100% consistency. I wanted it to be more of a regular part of my life. I need quiet time. When I wake up in the morning, I make a cup of tea, and I sit in dead silence, no TV, no radio, no phone, no nothing. I sit in dead silence for an hour. I do that. I get up insanely early just to do that, because it makes me feel amazing. I'm not saying everyone has to do that, but once I did do this, that that I just got enough time that I could make this list. I wrote down all the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to meditate. I wanted to feel better in my clothes. I wanted to have time to work out. And then I wrote down all the reasons why I couldn't do that. And that's where I was really, really angry. I couldn't do it because of this person or that person, or because of this circumstance or that circumstance. And I was frustrated with myself mostly that I wasn't making the time for myself. And what all this anger really started to point to, it was a beacon of letting me recognize that I didn't have any boundaries or balance in my life. And that's what I discovered through my journaling. And I'm going to talk more about those later, but that's what I started to discover. And I said, okay, I'm not, if this is the case, if this is what is in my book, I'm not filling this freaking book with things that I am angry about and that I hate and that I am sad about and that make me depressed and things that I'm frustrated about. I'm not doing that. And I'm not just going to look on the bright side. I'm not just going to sit there and go, well, I can look at all the positive things. Yes, it's great to be positive. Yes, it's great to have a positive attitude. But not at the cost of ignoring who I truly am and my authentic self and my purpose for being here, okay? I'm not going to just say, well, I know I have no time for myself, but, at least I have time for everyone else. That's not going to help anyone around you, because I was living proof of it. I was being cranky with people because I was feeling frustrated. I was disengaging mentally from conversations because I felt like I needed to just mentally tap out. I couldn't fully pay attention to what people were saying, and that was affecting my relationships as well. I don't want that to happen to you. So though your list may not be the same as mine, I think that this is a good exercise. You write down what it is that you really truly want. What is it that's stopping you? And the funny part, when you look at that list of, okay, what's stopping me, right? At first, you're going to have all those things, circumstances, everything is out of your control. If everything is out of your control, then you're taking on the role of a victim. And I'm not saying that there's never going to be anything that's absolutely out of your control, but I'm going to be honest with you. On my list, there was a lot of things that my perception was, well, this is out of my control, and I can't do anything about it. But that was a lie that I was telling myself. That was an untruth, and an illusion that I was telling myself that I couldn't change my circumstance, that I couldn't do something about it. And I realized that once I started to accept that and say, hey, actually, maybe there is something I can do, I was stepping into my power, and I was feeling so powerful, because being the victim and saying that your circumstance is totally and utterly out of your control, which I realize sometimes it might be in some things, but for me, it wasn't. And stepping into my power and realizing that I do have control was incredible and transformative in itself. I realized that there were things that I could control in my life, and a lot of it had to do with balance and boundaries, which I'll talk more about later. Now that you have your list, and then you have your list of the things you want and the list of things that are blocking you, you take a look at what can I do? What can I do to change these things? And I call it efficiencies, is what I like to call it, or call it laziness. I'm like, two birds with one stone. What's the most common denominator that's blocking me from doing most of these things on my list? Because right now, I think I'm going to lose my mind if I have to change more than one thing. So I was like, what is one thing that I can tackle? Just one thing that I can feel some success from, to be able to change the most things in my life that would have the biggest impact. And for me, that's how I came to my decision for a lifestyle of sobriety. It was such a an important and just a magical moment to have that level of awareness and to see it on paper in front of me. And I felt proud that I even freaking wrote it down. Like, there I was. But I thought, if I do this, and not that I was drinking a whole lot or anything, it was more about the fact of the way it made me feel the next day. Like, I would, even if I just had a couple drinks watching a movie with Shane at night, I would feel really tired, sluggish. I didn't want to get up as early in the morning. I was a little bit cranky. That was a big thing. And I'm going to make another video to talk more about that stuff later. But what I want to tell you with all this is, with paying attention with the moon and where this all ties in, the full moon coming up, I would do this exercise before the full moon. And I tried many times prior to this where I hadn't come to actually this point. And it didn't exactly work. But I've been continuing to work with the moon and release. Look at what my life is. Do an assessment. When you reach the full moon, it's a celebration of where you are now, taking in all the things that have worked. It's a time of reflection, and that's what I was doing, reflecting and looking at my life and saying, okay, what is it that I want to release? Mind you, I also made a list of all the things that I really like in my life, the things that are really working for me. And I put down next to that in the second list, why are they working for me, right? And then what I decided was, okay, I'm going to continue with these things and check in on this list and build on this list. So for the full moon, what we're doing is we're reflecting, celebrating the things that we've accomplished. What have we done good? We have to celebrate that. We can't be beating ourselves up all the time, so we celebrate that. Then we're going to take some reflection time and say, okay, where can I step into my power with this full moon? Where can I step into my power and acknowledge where I can change things? And I gotta wrap this up because it's gonna go. And where can I release some of that? And then have compassion when you're looking at yourself with this. Have forgiveness. Do not beat yourself up in this process. That's not going to help you. Just see it, accept it, show compassion, and be patient with yourself. Be patient. The best advice I got recently: be patient with something so beautiful. So, and you guys are very beautiful, beautiful souls. So be patient with yourself. Be patient with this process. I hope that that this resonates with you guys. If you like this video, let me know. If you have any questions, or if any of this has connected with you in any way, I'd love to hear about it. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and I have to get going now because it's time to start the day. All right, have an amazing day, and take care, everyone. Bye.